Everybody, welcome to the final match of the round of 8 between Dreamer and Ertric, 12 o'clock location. We have Ertric as the blue Terran, 6 o'clock location. We have Dreamer as the green Protoss. I like that they actually kept color consistency as well throughout this match. So even though this blue, it makes it hard to read that name, hats off to Ertric for keeping the color consistency. This is on Blindside, which again is a pseudo-rampless map because of all this action here. And I'm wondering if it looks like we are going to see Blindside live up to its name, because we see Dreamer moving out with this Probe Scout to do something sneaky. And there is a lot of space to be sneaky on this map. No pylon in base, so this is in fact going to be some form of cheese. The question is, will Ertric see it and when? Initial supply depot on that corner. Ertric moving in, it looks like to that backhand right corner near that natural expansion. He's going to plop down. I assume this is just going to be 2-gate pressure from here. And part of the reason I was looking for other players to do this earlier on this map, because of the lack of a ramp right here and kind of high ground. There's like a sliver of high ground to hold right there. And it's just a sizable map to work with. We do see a barracks being built to provide some of that defensive spacing. 2 gateways warping in on 10 supply. So technically a 10-10 gate rather than a 11-10 gate or 10-9 gate. And is the second pylon? I think Dreamer's going to plop that second pylon somewhere near the main. Probe Scout moving in. Perhaps to get a shield battery in here and provide an extra target. Ertric sees it. Wow. Ertric may be confused about the scouting pattern. I like that he maybe just realizing the angle that probe was coming in. Finds the double gate. 2 Zealots being produced. Doesn't mean anything yet, though. There's that pylon warping in the main. A bunker being built to the south of that barracks. Still very much anyone's match. And the SCV actually, I like it when the SCV sits on that pylon, ignoring that pylon and regathering. Canceling. Wow, 2 bunkers being built. A bunker being built right on top of that pylon. That's forcing a cancellation from Dreamer. That's actually going to supply cap him here. And 2 Zealots now making the way. And Ertric, I think, might have held upon that early scout. The Zealots initially in here. Are they just going to walk away from that initial bunker? Yeah, they're just going to walk away from the bunker, try to catch what they can in midfield. I don't think this bunker covers the entire SCV line, so they might be able to just wander all the way around and get additional damage. Are there additional SCV? Or there are. Okay, so it is going to be 4 Dragoons. Initially right here, working their way against the refinery. These 2 bunkers slowing down the additional refinery. The SCV is blocking the gap in between. So 1 very damaged Marine trying to provide the defense in this back corner. 2 Marines in those bunkers over there, but that's allowing these Zealots to just run by and get additional damage on whatever they want to here otherwise. And those Zealots reinforcing, going to work on those SCVs on the gap. 1 SCV down. Are they just going to run by as well? Or are they just going to hop on top of that bunker? So now you've got 4 Zealots in the main versus 3 Marines. And Ertric botching this defense a little bit. Still working on that refinery. As long as they keep that factory from being built, this could turn into disaster. An assimilator plopping down, a couple of idle probes, and the natural expansion being taken for Dreamer, feeling that, okay, he's slowed things down enough with these initial Zealots and done enough economic damage, which, yeah, he's 17 probes to 12 here. But still might be able to follow this up with kind of an economic follow-up, basically. Another Zealot down. The Zealot's finally cleaned up, but this is a very slow factory. An additional 2 Zealots being produced here. I think that SCV saw that expansion going up, so now it feels like the ball has been tossed into Ertric's court. So Ertric, 14 SCVs versus 18, a very delayed natural expansion, a very delayed factory. Is wandering out towards his natural expansion. He's going to be greeted there by a Zealot. This is going to be 6 Marines, many of which are very damaged, starting to pour out towards these 2 gateways. All of them dying because Ertric not microing this very well, though. And additional zealots being produced to try to clean this up. So Ertric concentrating so much on trying to get these gateways down that he might end up just dying in the interim to these zealots. The zealots now in trouble because finally a vulture out here on the map. Natural expansion is up. A photon cannon being warped in. Interesting. Photon cannon rather than dragoons. Ertric opting instead to go ahead and get a bunker at his natural expansion. So Dreamer's harass just been fantastic up to this stage. I'm not sure how laggy this match was. This is going to be, keep in mind, this is the 3rd bunker. So that's 300 minerals worth of bunker. A zealot running back towards the main. There is a vulture getting there. Double gateways blockading that. So not able to get in there. Still might be able to cycle, and actually needs to be careful that he doesn't get wiped out. So all of a sudden, Dreamer producing Dragoons out of 4 gateways at multiple locations off 2 bases. SCVs wandering up. They actually might get taken out by these Dragoons. Everything going right for Dreamer this game thus far. Trying to get a command center to follow this up. This is going to be 3 weakened Marines as well. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Dreamer can actually save this. So 2 Dragoons produced. The SCVs are on top of that right Dragoon. They let him slip through their hands. Lost all of those Marines, and now there's nothing in the bunker at that natural expansion. And only a vulture to try to defend. Ertric having a lot of trouble with this. Vulture taken out. Dreamer realizing that that bunker's empty. A Marine trying to hopscotch his way through, but if these Dragoons focus fire are there, yeah, they're outnumbered, and it's not going to... And more Dragoons, it looks like actually some probes reinforcing. The probe's going to go ahead and drop another pylon, I assume. That's going to disrupt this natural expansion. Yeah, this has got to be game. Dreamer just putting on a clinic here. Ertric at half Dreamer's supply at the 7-minute mark. Dreamer can just, honestly, just keep producing units and press on from there. Ertric desperately just trying to... He's like, that SCV's not going to do anything. Ertric's got to be just, like... frustrated at his keyboard right here. Where are those probes? The probes actually, it looks like they were misrallied, making their way back towards the main. A siege tank finally grouping up, able to take out that, but this is going to be 2 Dragoons and a Zealot to reinforce. They might actually be able to gun that siege tank down. We'll see if Dreamer goes for it. Honestly, he can just sit back and macro from here and should be okay. No, he's going to go for it. He's like, I'm going to hunt that siege tank. This is bully Protoss tactics right here. This is like, you know what? I think what happens in a Protoss mind is you get pushed around by mechs so often once that happens that when you have an opportunity to bully a Terran, you just can't resist it, right? It's like, nope, not going to let you do it. I'm just going to slap you around with my my Zealots and my Dragoons. And Dreamer really doing that here in this match. He's actually going, wow, all in with gateways and level 1 weapons. We got 4, 5, technically 6, 7, but these are unpowered. I'm wondering if a probe's going to wander up and repower them. Yeah, there is a probe moving up to go ahead and clear this up. I don't see an observatory just yet, but the observatory would kind of be the nail in the coffin here, I believe. Looks like he's going to go for an initial shuttle instead to go ahead and case their siege tech, which is still researching at the 9-minute mark for Ertric. Ertric moving out with the siege tanks to go ahead and try to engage, but he needs to be careful with these siege tanks, honestly, to keep that pylon from warping in. Without siege tech, I think he's going to end up losing at least one of these siege tanks, depending on how this is microed. So 1 siege tank down is going to lose absolutely 2. And some more Marines as they're pushing out. Ertric just getting greedy with this. And that pylon warps in, so now this is like this is an enormous amount of gateways. Level 1 weapons. Another siege tank taken out. And the Dragoons again just walking their way through. Back towards the main. Unbelievable. Siege tank might be able to... Siege tank and these SCVs might be able to box these Dragoons back and clear this out. But here's the thing. As far as follow-up production... Oof. I'm actually going to be able to get that siege tank as well. As far as follow-up production, this is 2 gateways at a close location. And this is, what? 1... So we're sitting at 5. We're sitting at 6 gateways here worth of production still. And 47 workers versus 27. And on top of that, Dreamer's going to go ahead and take a third base. This is kind of like playing with your food at this stage, I feel like. As far as Dreamer's going. Robotic support bay online. Observer being built. Ertric finally getting a siege tank out on his front. And he's been, this entire time, he's been sitting at a single factory. Usually you want like 3 or 4 factories to deal with this sort of gateway count at this stage of the game. And he is sitting at just 1. Needs desperately to get another factory, another machine shop out. Needs to reestablish the economy. Needs somehow to sneak something into Dreamer. Basically, yeah, he needs to do everything simultaneously to get back in this match. And honestly, I don't see it happening. 2 cannons preventatively being dropped in that bottom third. Missile turret being placed at a close location. I'm not sure. Worried about Dark Templar, perhaps? All Dreamer has to do is sit back and macro here, and he should win this match. Zealots moving up. Pushing into that siege tank once again. 4 Dragoons on top of that bunker. SCVs pulling off the line once again. Siege tank one. Yeah, the siege tank count just seems like whenever there's 3 siege tanks on the field, it very quickly becomes 0 siege tanks in a matter of moments. Ertric building forward, it's just donating buildings. And now diving in. Again, killing that siege tank. Yeah, siege tanks just can't stay alive this match. Full group repair on that bunker. Actually, eventually will beat this number of Dragoons. But this is still minerals that are being cost. This is a base that's not mining as far as a follow-up. And we do have a Reaver, which is going to make... Ooh, this is going to get ugly. Bye. Oh. So much for that bunker. There is that siege tank up above. Let's see how long this one lasts. And Dreamer just throwing units. Just donating them at this stage. He's like, you know what? I can just outproduce you. And don't even care at this stage. Dropping the Reaver close location to get splash damage. All sorts of SCVs just exploding and dying. All over the place. There, that bunker finally taken. That was a hero bunker I gotta give. This is... I gotta give it to Ertric for trying to fight it out, but that should be GG right here. And I commend him actually for fighting it out to the bitter end, because this is advancement or elimination at this stage. But this is certainly over. He's got 3 factories, trying to get a 3rd machine shop. But with all the tech Dreamer has, with the close reinforcement point, with Reavers just, yeah, honestly, the group repair just makes it like bigger Reaver bait at this stage. Although the Scarab not happening just yet. Zealots pounding away. That single Marine has been like just living his life there. He's like, I know the war is going crazy, but this is my bunker that I'm sitting in here, and occasionally I shoot at things running by. I don't know what's going on with the rest of the war. Burning command center overhead. This has just been like siege tank hunting map. Trying to get 3 more siege tanks out, but honestly, just this, yeah, just the Dragoons and the Reaver and the Zealot should be able to wipe it out. And the units continue to pour in. Ertric base in full breach. Perhaps frustrated as well. As like, you know, I'm going to make you earn this one, because this was proxy gateways, keep in mind. And this is the thing, Ertric has got to be frustrating for Ertric, because he was on the verge. He was very close to advancing. Very close to advancing. Factories burning, gonna get taken out. More reinforcements flooding across the map. The Reaver was wiped out someplace. So that bunker is still going to be able to be group prepared, but that is going to be even fewer SCVs that are mining. So Ertric down to his last bit of minerals, fighting to the bitter end. A good GG, well played, very manner ending. Yeah, just, I think that's the acknowledgement where it's just like GG, because this is the last round of the last match of a best of 8. So Dreamer advances to his second Final Four and is poised to make another championship run. Ertric, I hope to see him in BSL 13, but honestly, I think this is the best series we've had thus far out of any of the groupings. Really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.